Welcome to Emotions and Eating with Nicola Beer. Nicola controlled her feelings using food for 25 years, so she knows how draining it is to be constantly thinking about or acting out with food. Thankfully, having made an amazing breakthrough in her recovery, her mission became about helping others escape the unsatisfying cycle of frustration and self-medication with food. Nicola is determined to help you find your inner strength so you can be healthy, gain confidence, feel great, and be at peace with yourself and food.
Hi and welcome, so happy you're here. I'm going to be talking today about affair recovery and what to do if you feel like you are going crazy. A lot of people come to me straight after the discovering of an affair, sometimes years later, months later, and often people are stuck in this cycle, which I'm going to be sharing with you about today and how to get yourself out of the cycle. So discovering that your partner has been cheating is extremely difficult to cope with. And many people feel like they are going crazy. And by crazy, they mean that they are surprised at how much they're suffering. They're surprised at the lack of sleep they're getting, the repetitive thoughts, panic attacks, change in appetite, not being able to eat, not being able to function. Their mind is constantly consumed with overwhelming thoughts on repeat. And they feel stuck and lost and unprepared for the emotional roller coaster that often happens. Some people adopt behaviours also which they've never done before, like searching their partner's emails or phone at night, doing GPS tracking, stalking, and some fall into unhealthy habits like gambling, shopping, daily drinking, emotional eating, taking medication or drugs to calm themselves and numb out. And I'm going to explain why that happens in a minute. And their mind is constantly wondering if their husband or wife is still cheating, or girlfriend, boyfriend. Are they still cheating? Are they still thinking about them? Is the relationship real? Are they being honest now? How do I know? How will I know? Will I ever be able to trust again? Is there something wrong with me? How couldn't I see this happen? And they get stuck in these repetitive thoughts. And a lot of people, after discovering an affair, find themselves in what was termed by Tony Robbins, I think it was over 15 years ago now, 10 years ago, and this is the Crazy 8. And I've created some YouTube videos on this, so do check out my YouTube channel. Just put in Nicola Beer Relationships and my YouTube channel will come up. And I also did a free live talk on this in my Facebook group, so if you want to join the Facebook group, I'll put the link along with this. You're so welcome. I do 2 lives in there every week now, and I also, I'm in there answering questions and things, and it's really nice actually. People ask questions to the group and they get lots of different answers as well. If you have a question that you would like other people's opinions on, just to check in. So the Crazy 8 is where someone loops from high energy negative emotions such as fear, anger, anxiety, stress, like they take a lot of intensity, they're high energy, to low energy negative emotions. So they will then go into sadness, depression, regret, disappointment, despair. And so people are constantly flipping and swinging from one set of emotions, the high intensity ones, and to the low intensity ones, because the low energy side of the loop, this is where the person is feeling down, fed up, they're not really using much energy, they have no motivation to do anything, they feel sorry for themselves and hurt, really hurt, they withdraw, disconnect, stay in a low mood, they're fed up with everything seems so unfair, and they see people and experiences through dark glasses. They can also feel down about themselves, not feeling good enough, attractive enough, and unlovable. Sometimes they worry, are they rubbish in bed as well? And their self-esteem is very low. So they do less, and over time, they build up their emotional strength. And in an attempt to regain back control, they loop back from all of those sort of low energy feelings to anger and blame and fear and anxiety. And this is a more energetic, fueled state. It's like got a lot of adrenaline, and this makes a person feel more in their power when they're in that aggression mode. And then the anger creates physical tension, muscular tension, heat, increased heart rate, which is completely opposite to the lethargic state that they experience at the opposite end of the loop, on the sadness, depressed side. So they go to this more lively, powerful, angry, fearful state, and then you can't stay there because that's absolutely exhausting. So they then flip back to the sadness state. And then they're in the self-pity, the sadness, the hurt, and the depression. And then once they've built up their energy there, and after no resolution of being like that, they say, right. And then they swing back into the anger. And then they swing back. And then it's an absolutely exhausting cycle for anybody to be on. And it's where you go from fear and anger to sadness. And you're constantly unhappy because you're constantly in one state of negative emotions, the high intensity or the low intensity. And sometimes I work with people who there hasn't been any affair and they just feel stuck because they're on this crazy 8. And it's not that you are going crazy, it can just make you feel like you're going crazy. Of course, no one is crazy. So people on this that are flipping from here to here, they get so exhausted and tired, the body can't take it, they feel horrible. And so the mind says, we've got to exit this neurocircuit. This is awful. So then it will find solutions to break free from the chaos. So you'll exit the loop where you'll be like, right, I'm just going to have a drink, have some alcohol, take some drugs, take some medication. I'm going to use food to numb out. I'm going to use sleeping pills. I'm going to distract myself with porn or gaming addiction or shopping or body improvement addiction. All these different kinds of things where people are just like, I need to fix something and I need to get out of this. I need to escape. And when people want to escape their feelings, it's, of course, if it's an unhealthy way to escape, not really going to solve the issue. And this is where I hear people say, I know how to deal with my depression, Nicola. I know how to deal with my anxiety. They're not really living. They're not really enjoying an amazing life. They're living with it. They've accepted it rather than work to release it and get out of it. And so it's easy to see why people fall into unhealthy habit, because they are going over the same loop and they just need freedom from it. So their mind says, look, this will give you a temporary release. And sometimes the person who has cheated can also get stuck in this loop. They can go from guilt and depression of what they've done to the person that they've hurt. And then they can go to anger at themselves and fear of the future. So it's not just the person who's been cheated on that can get into this loop. It's also the person who has done the cheating. And some people come to me where they were in this cycle, anxiety, depression, back and forth, and they were going from one end to the other, absolutely exhausted, and actually they had an affair to escape this cycle. They thought, I've got to get out of this, and fantasizing about somebody else, pretending to be someone I'm not, having a fake online or physical relationship, getting caught up in someone else, help them to escape their feelings of going from low vibe emotions that are negative to high vibe emotions that are negative. Instead of experiencing the range of emotions that other people that aren't on this cycle have, like joy and peace and feeling alive and free and healthy and excited and passionate and love and loved, those kind of feelings. So if you want to break out of this loop, the first thing to do is you need to be motivated to do so. So the first step is understanding, what is the behavior loop giving you? Are you benefiting from it in any way? Is it profiting you? The first answer may be, I'm not, no way. Awful. But sometimes I ask people to check in. Does it give you attention, make you feel important, powerful, or righteous? Do you get your own way when you are either in the angry, anxious state or sad, withdrawn state? One lady who I did a 3-day breakthrough intensive with a few weeks ago said, well, Nicola, if I let all this anger and my shouting at my husband go, then I may not get what I want. Because right now I can get what I want, I can get away with anything, Nicola, she said. And anything I ask for, I get. And then she had a realization just saying that out loud, and she said, I don't want to teach my children that. And she realized that she wants to be loving, and it was actually destroying her. Whilst her husband might be doing everything she wants at the moment, he was obviously trying to make it up to her after the cyber cheating. And she realized that actually she could have better sleep letting it go, calmness, inner peace, a lighter feeling, wake up happy and motivated with her daughter. She could leave all that behind if she did the process that I took her through. And then she could influence by using her love power, her love energy, her feminine power, calmness, and he would listen. And she wanted that calm home for her children. And she felt so much happier in herself, because it doesn't feel good to be angry and aggressive. It doesn't feel good, of course, to be anxious or depressed. And if you're in that loop, it can often feel like you are going crazy and you're not going to be able to get out of it. And your mind will say, like, oh God, what if I'm going to feel like this forever? Will I ever feel happy and alive and peaceful again? So we talked it through, and she was like, yes, absolutely, let's get rid of it all, which was great. And so we did. So you have to decide, okay, do you want to exit the loop? And it doesn't have to take a long time. I'll talk about that at the end of this episode. But like some people say, oh, healing has to be a really, really long journey and it's going to take time. And all time does has passed. And often people feel worse over time, not better, because more time's gone past and they haven't felt any better. And so they then become hopeless and feel like, oh, maybe it's not going to be fixed. Maybe I'm going to be stuck. And it's like, all you need is to change the thoughts and to make that decision, I want to be free. She said to me, this lady, forgiveness is a gift for me. It's going to free me to feel those loving, positive energies. There's not room for laughter and fun and passion and lightheartedness if you're filled up with these emotions. You can't feel them because you'll be blocked by all these negative emotions. And often people come to me who have been cheated on, and they also get stuck in the cycle of thoughts about the future. So anxiety. How do I know if my husband or wife still thinks about their affair partner? Or what if my boyfriend or girlfriend is still in touch with them and I don't know? What if they're comparing me to them? What if they prefer sex with them? What if they... And these what if questions just send people, again, into negative states. And of course, the thought patterns don't get you anywhere. So what you need to do is just switch your thinking. Change your thinking, change your life. So ask yourself, more important questions like, what do I need today?